Welcome back, my name is Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Presents Off the Reel. It's an off the reel review of the movie Fuze, a movie I was really quite looking forward to. It has a pretty stacked cast. It was by a director, David MacKenzie, that I'm a fan of. I was excited for it. You can go over to nerdly.co.uk to see what other people may have said about this movie over there. I really had high hopes for it, and I was somewhat, not completely, but somewhat disheartened by this movie. It's not as great as I thought it was going to be. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I normally do, and that is to talk about the plot of the movie. Then I'll get into the cast and crew of this movie. Then I'll get into what I did and did not like about the film before rounding out with my Nerdly Presents Off the Reel review rating. My rating, not the rating of Nerdly on the whole, but I am the most important person on the website, and I keep saying that, and I feel bad for saying that, but I do also kind of a little bit maybe do believe that very premise. And IMDb will tell you that an unexploded World War II bomb is discovered on a busy construction site in the centre of London. Chaos ensues as the military and police begin a mass evacuation against a ticking clock. Yes, ticking clock! That was a Team America reference for you right there. And that is essentially the plot. We start the movie, we're going around London, we're seeing all the landmarks, we're seeing all these different things going on. We're in London town and everything is bustling, busy streets, everything's cool. We end up on a construction site, and when they're doing a little bit of construction, all of a sudden they find what is believed to be a World War II old-timey bomb that is a little bit unexploded. So of course they call in like bomb experts. The military bomb experts come in and they like inspect the bomb and confirm that yes, it is a bomb. And it is time to get people out of what they assume will be the blast area. So they're doing that. Now, first of all, you've got the military guys that come in. They're working with the police to sort of get everything sorted, but the military guys are going to take over the construction site, and they're the ones that are going to either try and defuse the bomb or just try and diminish any sort of destruction that might happen. Then you have the police that are also like cordoning things off and making sure everybody is out of the area. So while that's happening, we then discover that a group of guys, there's like 3 or 4 guys in work construction uniform, have been hiding out in one of the houses. They kind of come out of the house and they go to where this bank is, or it's like kind of like a bank. So what starts out as sort of like an evacuation bomb threat of a movie becomes this whole thing about these guys drilling into a bank vault, which, to be honest, we've seen that kind of thing before. We're sticking to the street levels with this, and one of the things that I found with this movie is that the way it's filmed, it almost feels like an episode of ITV's Trigger Point. That's genuinely how this movie felt at times. But that is to kind of add to the realism and the grounded state of this movie. And then that's kind of it. Like, I don't really think I can go too much further into spoiler territory without really getting messed up in things. And we meet Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's like the main lead in the military side of things. He's taking over that whole section and he's going to try and defuse the bomb. We find out that he does have a little bit of a checkered past. We then have Theo James, who is part of the gang with Sam Worthington, and these guys are the ones that are going to go in through the vault and they're going to take the money or whatever's in there. They want to get the stuff. He wants to defuse the bomb. At some point, we are well aware both of these storylines, because they're in such close proximity, will come together, because you know what? That's how movies work. I am not going to say any more because it would just be spoiler territory. I'm going to get into my cast and crew. And yes, Aaron Taylor Johnson, somebody that I am very familiar with, somebody that I do like, and somebody that has worked with David MacKenzie before on The Outlaw King. That was a really cool film that actually shot a little bit in my hometown. Like they filmed some stuff on the Quay Walls where I live in Berwick. That was really cool to go down and watch that all happen. So yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson as one of our main characters, Will Tranter. I'm a fan of Aaron Taylor Johnson. Did I love him in this movie? Not really, because he's kind of just playing regular schmegular average Joe, and honestly, I don't really rate him in those roles. I like the slightly more bombastic roles that he plays. I like the slightly more over-the-top characters that he plays. Theo James and Sam Worthington are both members of the gang that's going to rob the bank. I really like Theo James. Again, The Gentleman is one of my favourite TV shows right now. Can't wait for season 2. Sam Worthington is always dependable. It's so funny how he used to be one of those actors that I would look at and I would just confuse him with like Joel Kinnaman, Jai Courtney. You know, Sam Worthington very much fell into that bracket. But I'm seeing him more and more as of late, and I'm actually really vibing on what he's doing. I liked what he did in this movie. He doesn't have a massive great deal to do. Neither does Theo James, if we're completely honest. I guess it's just one of those movies where the ensemble is going to be the main thing, but the story itself, the city itself, that's what we're focusing on. The head of our local law enforcement is Gugu Mbatha-Raw, and she is really cool. Doesn't, again, I'm going to say it a lot, but again, doesn't have a massive great deal to do in the movie. She's kind of just the police person that's going to sit in the background and make sure everything's going okay, and yeah. And I might as well talk about our director, David MacKenzie, because I am a fan. I am a fan of the movies he's made so far. Starred Up with Jack O'Connell was absolutely sensational, and the likes of Hell or High Water with Chris Pine and Ben Foster, who Ben Foster's one of my favourite actors out there. You know, so underrated, it's not even funny. And this film's like all up to date, all now, all present, very of the moment, but it commits the cardinal sin of just being, well, we'll deal with that in what I did and didn't like and my final review. But I will say, as a director, he's not really doing anything too wrong. But again, as I said, this could have easily been like 2 or 3 episodes of the series Trigger Point on ITV. I know he's done a bit of TV as of late, so what I didn't like, I'll start with what I didn't like. As I was about to say before, it commits a cardinal sin just for being boring. Like, it's a boring movie, and it's not even that long. It's like an hour and 30, an hour and 40. So how can an hour and 30, hour and 40 movie just be a little bit boring? Now, the way they do that is they pad out the runtime with some aerial shots going across London. Don't get me wrong, I love that stuff, but this film, just at times, we're just cutting away and we're just seeing random parts of London that honestly don't really do anything for me. Let's get back into the nuts and bolts of the movie. I'm not fully aware of why Aaron Taylor Johnson is on the outs with the army. You kind of get a little bit of it, and that's fine. I don't need to be told everything. The gang themselves that are robbing the bank, it's so unbelievably generic the way they're doing it. I was hoping that maybe it's going to be a little bit clever. I'm not asking for Ocean's 11 every time. I'm just asking for something a little bit more clever than we're going to go down into the basement, drill through the wall, and go into the vault. I don't want to do any spoilers, but there is a little bit at the end of the movie. Just when you think the movie's finished, we cut to like 2 or 3 years ago, and they show us this scene, and it's meant to be why some of our characters have got together, and they're doing the things that they're doing, why they're doing it, the motivations and things like that. I just didn't need it. Or if you're gonna show me that, you could have showed me it like earlier on from a different perspective, and then at the end of the movie show me from another perspective, and then I'm kind of like, okay, I was already invested in these characters, but now these characters I'm invested in and I understand their motivations. Instead, we just kind of get this really random kind of previously on scene tacked on at the end of the movie that I just felt was a little bit unnecessary. The music, the score, the cinematography, as much as I say that some of these scenes that going over the top of London are a little bit unnecessary, it does look nice. And that's kind of what I liked about the cinematography. And then of course the music's really cool, the score's really cool, the sound's really cool. We do get a couple of pretty big explosions in this movie. There is one part of the heist that I did like, and it's when they've got the gold or whatever's in the bags and they're trying to get it away, and they use drones to get it out of the safe zone. I really quite liked that. And so when they first kind of like cordon off this area of London, there's like an Amazon delivery van or a delivery van that's trying to come in, and the guy gets out and he comes over and says, "What you mean I can't go through there? What? You've blocked off the road?" It's Lee Hunter! It's Lee Hunter! Somebody I really, really do enjoy speaking to on Facebook. When I go down to Romford, I love seeing him down there. He's just one of the guys I really, really love being around Lee. He's a cracking little actor. It's great to see him getting a little part in a movie like this, which is a little bit more mainstream, so it's cool to see his face getting out there. But I mean, that's what he's good at doing. Cheeky little chappy that gets his face around. So I love that as well. That's just something that I really like. So I might as well just get into my final Nerdly Presents Off the Reel review rating. And honestly, I'm going to give this movie like a 2.5 out of 5. It's very middle of the road. It's very generic. It's very just there. Like, at one point, it was kind of just on. And again, without the likes of Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Sam Worthington, Theo James, I'm maybe not all that interested in this movie, if you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't doing anything stupidly wrong. It just wasn't setting my world on fire. And it did, honestly, commit a few cardinal sins. The main one being that it's just kind of boring. And when you have these two things, which would, on one side you've got this bank heist going on, and on this other side you've got this like disposal thing going on, like Hurt Locker versus the Inside Man in one go, that to me sounded exciting. It sounded interesting, it sounded relevant, and it sounded like something I really wanted to watch. And then when they kind of get out of the blast zone and the bomb side of it's all done, the movie just continues to move at some sort of a pace and didn't really go too much far of anywhere else for me. I'm going to sit right on the fence. I'm going to sit right in the middle and give this movie a 2.5 out of 5. I wish I could be giving it more. I suppose I probably could stretch that to a 3 if I really wanted to, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to sit on the 2.5 out of 5. I love David MacKenzie as a director. I'm really, really intrigued to see what he does next. Is this an area he's going to continue pursuing, like making Sky original movies that could easily double down as an ITV or BBC TV show? I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's a strange way to go. I kind of liked it in certain ways. You know, it kept it all British, it kept it all English. We're in London, it's all cool, we've got mostly British cast. It just missed the mark. It absolutely missed the mark for me. Wasn't enough of the action I wanted to see, wasn't enough of the dialogue I wanted to see, there wasn't enough of any of that, and there was too much scaping shots of London. As gorgeous as they looked, there was too many of them. So I'm going to go. My name has been Kevin Haldon. This is Nerdly Presents Off the Reel. This was an Off the Reel review of the movie Fuze, starring Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Sam Worthington, and Theo James. If you get a chance to see the movie, absolutely let me know what you think down below in the comments. That's where we'll keep the conversation go. I know there's going to be people out there that absolutely disagree with everything I've just said about this movie, and they're going to be like, it's the best thing I've ever watched. That's totally fine. That's your prerogative. This is the kind of movie for you. I thought it was the kind of movie I would enjoy. I really did. And some levels, I did enjoy it. But on other levels, I just couldn't really get into it. So that is what I thought of the movie Fuze. 2.5 out of 5. I will leave you just now. But if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you in the cinema.